What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that's new to the channel and you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's jump right into the topic of this video. The Las Vegas Raiders are geared up for training camp that officially starts tomorrow in Costa Mesa, California. Head coach Antonio Pierce and general manager Tom Telesco took a different approach to training camp this year by electing to do it in California instead of at their state-of-the-art facilities here in Las Vegas. And part of the reasoning was, according to Antonio Pierce, was due to the fact that he wants to give the team an opportunity to bond with one another. And by traveling, this will allow the team to be in an environment where they're closer to each other, staying in hotels together, everything like that. And just overall help build the camaraderie within this football team. Now, with this being the first official season under the leadership of Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco, I don't necessarily mind them taking this approach. You definitely want to lay down the foundation when it comes to the culture and just uniting the team. That'll definitely be a crucial component in the success of both of these guys moving forward. Now, this time period should hopefully be the foundation of what the makeup of this football team will be next season. Training camp is going to be a crucial time period for the players on the roster, especially for the young players who need to start to make a name for themselves, begin their overall developmental process, and ultimately fight for a roster spot. Now, football season is almost back, and it just starts with training camp here for the Las Vegas Raiders, where this is going to be a huge opportunity for certain players to show the coaching staff that they are ready to earn a starting role on this team, and for other players to just simply showcase that they have what it takes to make the final 53-man roster. But today I just wanted to preview training camp, talk about certain players and positional battles I am most eager to follow. And the first positional group that's going to be the most obvious one, and that is the quarterback position. And really, this is the first time in over a decade where it's like we're really not sure exactly who's going to be the starting quarterback week one. For the longest time, it's always just been predetermined who our starter is. And the quarterback battle this season is going to be between second-year quarterback Aidan O'Connell and veteran Gardner Minshew. Now, I will say Antonio Pierce has stated in the past that Aidan O'Connell deserves the opportunity to be the starter for the upcoming season, but Antonio Pierce does not strike me as a guy that will give him this position by any means come week one. He's going to have to look good out there. He's going to have to outperform the veteran Gardner Minshew in training camp and in the preseason for him to fully lock in that starting role come week one. Antonio Pierce also said that he expects to see everybody play at some point in the preseason. I'm definitely a fan of that. But overall, this is going to be an interesting quarterback battle throughout training camp and really up until the regular season starts. And even then, even if O'Connell wins the starter job week one, he's going to have to continue to perform week in and week out. I really don't know how big of a leash Antonio Pierce will give a young quarterback like Aidan O'Connell, especially with a guy Minshew that has shown that he can step in and make some things happen for you as your starting quarterback. But when you compare these two, I mean, one player in Aidan O'Connell is more familiar with the receivers we have on this team, the time in between one another, stuff like that. I mean, Aidan O'Connell has a majority of the reps with Devontae Adams, Trey Tucker, Jacoby Myers dating back from last season. But at the same time, he has less overall experience in the National Football League compared to a guy like Gardner Minshew. And one thing to take into consideration with Aidan O'Connell is he was in a different system and a different offense last year. So he's going to have to learn a new playbook this offseason. And this could possibly affect the way he starts off the season. Now, with Gardner Minshew, though, he's been a player that's bounced around the National Football League, so this won't be the first time he has had to learn a new offense. So that may be something that could work to his advantage. Now, Gardner Minshew overall is no slouch, but I will say Aidan O'Connell seems to have the edge to be the week one starter. He definitely seems like the favorite, but there's no doubt that Gardner Minshew, I think, is going to put some pressure on the young quarterback. And I'm totally okay with that. I hope that brings out the best out of Aidan O'Connell. I hope that really forces him to be sharp out there and just keep him on his toes moving forward. We're going to need solid, strong quarterback play this season if we want to advance far and make some things happen. But that's the first positional battle I'm looking forward to in training camp, the quarterback position. Now the second positional battle that I'm going to be very intrigued is going to be on the defensive side of the football, and that's going to be that cornerback 2 position. Really, this position is wide open for anybody's taking at the moment, and we have quite a few young players at this position that can fight for this role. One player that stands out is second-year cornerback Jacorian Bennett, who has some starter experience from last season. He really seemed to start off pretty strong, but then he began to struggle. He started to give us some big plays, and then he got less playing time out there. But he's still a player that shows some good upside. He has good ball skills, has good speed. But I think coming into year 2 and just this offseason in general is just a perfect opportunity for him to showcase his talents and just overall fight for that starting position on the opposite side of Jack Jones. I definitely see Jack Jones being the cornerback 1 of this roster. And we also got some young, interesting rookies at the cornerback position that we selected this year. We start off with 4th rounder DeCamerion Richardson, who is a tall, lengthy cornerback who has very impressive speed as well, and he just obviously has great physical traits that make him a super exciting young prospect. And it's just going to be fun to analyze his overall progression going into his first season of the NFL. And then you also got 7th round ball hawk MJ Devonshire, who I don't really expect him to win a starting role, as he definitely seems to be more of a developmental type of cornerback, but he still will be another exciting prospect to watch out for. But overall, who's going to be the cornerback on the opposite side of Jack Jones? We brought in Brandon Facyson. Will they ultimately bring in another veteran quarterback at some point? Something to keep an eye on, especially if these young guys don't look to be up to par. Then it may be a move that we make moving forward. But that's the second positional battle I'm going to be keeping a close eye on. And the last positional group that I really want to watch out for is going to be the battle at right tackle between our rookie right tackle out of Maryland, DJ Glaze, and between Thayer Munford. And you also got a guy like Dalton Wagner, a UDFA from last season. But just in general, I really felt like right tackle was a weak spot for us last season. So we definitely need to see some improvement at this position. And this hopefully will be a breakout season for Thayer Munford going into his 3rd season. If it's not now, then when will it be? But in my opinion, there's definitely some uncertainty at this position for me. I'm not super confident that Thayer Munford can take that next step, that he can come in and put it all together at right tackle. I mean, to be honest, he has looked a little bit better to me as a left tackle when he had to step in for Colton Miller last season compared to being at right tackle. And then also DJ Glaze, I mean, he did show some solid tape at right tackle compared to when he was on the left side with Maryland. But at the same time, I mean, being a rookie, being an offensive tackle is not an easy transition for any young rookie, so that's a big question mark as well. And then we got a guy in Dalton Wagner who's just a huge wild card. I mean, we never really have seen him out there on that field, so it's just really almost impossible to know what you're going to get with him. But either way, we have to find a way to shore up this position this season. This will be an important positional battle to watch out for. And I mean, just in general, the offensive line needs to improve compared to last season. And I just think that's really going to make or break our offensive success in 2024. If this offensive line can open up some holes in the run game, it will allow running back Zamir White to be productive. And I just really feel like the success of this offense will be very predicated off of how balanced this attack will be. We need a good, healthy balance between run to pass. I think neither one of these quarterbacks will have a great success this season if we cannot be effective on the ground. Neither one of these quarterbacks are quarterbacks that I see that could carry this offense with their arm. We're going to have to be able to run the ball effectively, and that starts up front with the offensive line. But like I said, that right tackle position will be critical for the success of this offense moving forward, and that's one positional battle as well to keep an eye on in training camp. But those are the main positional battles I'm going to be keeping an eye on during training camp. Now, when it comes to the players, I mean, there's definitely certain young players that I want to keep a close update on, see how their progress is going. I mean, one of them for sure is going to be our first round tight end, Brock Bowers. It's just going to be exciting to see him out on that football field, kind of see how they're starting to utilize him. He's such a versatile player. You can line him up out wide, you can line him up in the backfield, or as a traditional tight end. It's going to be interesting to see how Luke Getsy exactly utilizes him. Is he going to be more of a quick pass threat, or is he going to be more of a vertical option for him? Another young player too that I'm super excited on is going to be Tyree Wilson. I mean, this is going to be a huge season for him. This is going to be the first off season for him where he can kind of develop his skills and just get out on the football field. I think a lot of times we understate how difficult a position he was put in last season, coming off of a foot injury and just being thrown out there week 1. He had a very slow start, but he definitely showed flashes towards the end of the season, and he definitely was improving week in and week out, and this offseason will be a huge opportunity for him. Tyree Wilson, though, super excited to see how he develops going into year 2. And some other players, I mean, Trey Tucker as well. He's a legit deep threat. He's got that speed, and I think he still has a lot of potential that's untapped, especially if he can just learn the ins and outs on how to run his routes, how to angle them. And really, if Trey Tucker can continue to improve and just be a threat for us, like just having him on that field can really open things up for us moving forward. And the last guy that I'm super excited about is running back Dylan Laube. I definitely think he's going to give Ameer Abdullah a run for his money. And I really wouldn't be shocked if Ameer Abdullah didn't make the roster, especially if they choose to only carry 3 running backs. You know, Zamir White's a lock. I think Alexander Madison will be on the roster. I see him being a very solid backup running back. And if we only hold 3 running backs, Dylan Laube, like I said, can definitely make some noise. He has the youth factor on his side. But Raider Nation, overall, very exciting stuff. Training camp is tomorrow. Super excited. Raiders football is almost back. But I definitely want to get your guys' feedback in the comment section down below. Let me know who you guys are most excited to see this year in training camp. What positional battles, etc. Let me know in that comment section down below. But with that being said, Raider Nation, if you guys love Raider related content news just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing a lot of updates during training camp, during the preseason, and definitely during the regular season. So if you haven't done so, subscribe. But with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.